Are your everyday habits secretly sabotaging your battle with insulin resistance? You might be surprised to learn that some seemingly innocent actions could be making it worse. Stay tuned to uncover the sneaky habits that could be hindering your health journey and learn how to turn them around for better well-being. Top 5 sneaky habits that worsen insulin resistance. Number 1, leading a sedentary lifestyle. First up, let's talk about leading a sedentary lifestyle. Prolonged sitting. It's a defining characteristic of being sedentary, and it really significantly impairs your body's ability to respond effectively to insulin. Think about it. When you stay inactive for long stretches, your major muscle groups, which are absolutely crucial for soaking up glucose from your bloodstream, they just become less sensitive to insulin signals. This reduced sensitivity means sugar isn't cleared from your blood as efficiently as it should be. This in turn leads to higher blood sugar levels, and your pancreas has to work overtime, pumping out more insulin to try and compensate. And that's exactly what paves the way for insulin resistance. Now, there's also a strong and rather concerning link between being consistently sedentary and the buildup of visceral fat. This isn't just any fat. It's the type stored deep within your abdominal cavity, right around your vital organs, and it's metabolically active. What this means is that it releases various inflammatory markers and hormones that directly mess with normal insulin action. This naturally makes insulin resistance worse and seriously heightens your risk of developing conditions like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. So, cutting down on sedentary time is really key to managing this harmful fat. And it's not just talk. Recent research, including some anticipated findings in the 2025 Journal of the American College of Cardiology, continues to underscore this danger. These studies are revealing a direct dose-response relationship. Basically, the more time people spend sitting each day, the lower their insulin sensitivity becomes. And this is true whether or not they meet the recommended guidelines for moderate to vigorous physical activity. This really highlights that breaking up long periods of sitting is just as important as those dedicated exercise sessions. You'll also find that leading medical experts consistently warn us that a sedentary lifestyle contributes to a kind of trifecta of problems: inadequate circulation, elevated blood pressure, and, you guessed it, insulin resistance. When you're inactive, your blood flow slows down, and this hinders the delivery of oxygen and nutrients that are absolutely essential for cellular health and efficient glucose metabolism. This physiological stress, often combined with high blood pressure, creates what you might call a perfect storm for insulin resistance to develop and get worse. But the good news is, countering the effects of a sedentary lifestyle can actually be achieved through some simple, yet consistent, changes. Try to make it a habit to stand up and move around for a few minutes every hour. Maybe choose stairs over the elevator whenever you can. You could even consider a standing desk, or just walk around when you're on phone calls. Even light activities like household chores or a gentle evening stroll can all add up and significantly boost your insulin sensitivity and your overall well-being. Number 2, poor sleep habits. All right, moving on to number 2, poor sleep habits. Now, a consistent lack of quality sleep can create a pretty significant disturbance in your body's delicate hormonal balance, and this directly impacts how well your system regulates insulin. You see, sleep deprivation triggers changes in hormones that control your appetite and stress levels. Hormones like ghrelin, leptin, and cortisol. These disruptions can actually make your cells less responsive to insulin, which is a key step towards developing insulin resistance. So ensuring you get adequate, restful sleep is absolutely fundamental for maintaining good insulin sensitivity. Think about it. When you don't get enough sleep, your body's ability to manage glucose is severely compromised. Studies have actually shown that even just a few nights of insufficient sleep can lead to glucose metabolism patterns that look a lot like those seen in prediabetes. Your body just becomes less efficient at clearing sugar from the bloodstream, and insulin's effectiveness in helping this process along is diminished. This directly contributes to higher blood sugar levels and an increased demand for insulin. And let's be honest, modern life is unfortunately filled with common sleep disruptors that many of us battle every day. Things like exposure to blue light from screens right before bed, irregular sleep schedules because of work or social commitments, drinking too much caffeine or alcohol, and high stress levels. All of these can interfere with our natural sleep-wake cycles. Identifying these disruptors and trying to mitigate them is really crucial for protecting your metabolic health through better sleep. The good news here is that research provides several evidence-backed strategies to help enhance your sleep quality. For instance, establishing a consistent sleep schedule, and yes, even on weekends, helps regulate your body's internal clock. It's also a great idea to create a relaxing bedtime routine. Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool, and try to avoid stimulants like caffeine and nicotine close to bedtime. Limiting those daytime naps can also contribute to better nighttime sleep and, as a result, improved insulin function. It's also important to recognize the signs that poor sleep might be negatively affecting your insulin sensitivity, because early intervention is key. If you find yourself constantly craving sugary foods, feeling excessively fatigued during the day, even after what you think was a full night's rest, or if you experience unexplained weight gain or notice increased irritability, these could all be subtle indicators. Paying attention to these signals and really prioritizing sleep could be a vital step in managing insulin resistance. Number 3, stress mismanagement. Next up, at number 3, we have stress mismanagement. Now, chronic, unmanaged stress acts as a really powerful trigger for hormonal shifts within your body, and these can significantly impair insulin's ability to function correctly. When you're persistently stressed, your body basically remains in a state of high alert, leading to an overproduction of stress hormones. This sustained hormonal imbalance can make your cells less receptive to insulin's message to absorb glucose, and that directly fosters an environment where insulin resistance can develop and worsen over time. Among these stress hormones, cortisol plays a particularly prominent role in the development of insulin resistance. You see, cortisol's primary job during stress includes increasing your blood sugar levels to provide ready energy for that fight or flight response. However, when stress is chronic, cortisol levels remain persistently high. This leads to sustained elevations in blood glucose and an increased demand for insulin, which can eventually cause your cells to become resistant to its effects. And to make matters worse, compounding the direct physiological effects of stress, many of us develop stress-eating behaviors. We often reach for those high-sugar, high-fat comfort foods. This type of eating pattern doesn't just lead to weight gain, especially that unhealthy abdominal fat, but it also places an additional burden on your body's glucose regulation system. So, the combination of hormonal disruption from stress and poor dietary choices can significantly accelerate the progression towards insulin resistance. This is why implementing practical stress management techniques is so essential for mitigating its impact on insulin function. Things like regular physical activity, mindfulness meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga, and even just spending time in nature are all effective ways to lower cortisol levels and promote relaxation. Finding healthy coping mechanisms that really work for you can make a substantial difference in both your stress levels and your metabolic health. It's also really helpful to recognize the symptoms that might indicate stress is contributing to your insulin resistance. These can include things like persistent fatigue, difficulty concentrating, increased cravings for unhealthy foods, unexplained weight gain, especially around your midsection, and feeling constantly overwhelmed or anxious. Addressing the root cause, that chronic stress, is absolutely key to improving your body's insulin sensitivity and your overall well-being. Number 4, hidden sugar consumption. Coming in at number 4 is hidden sugar consumption. You'd be surprised how many everyday foods harbor these sneaky sources of added sugars, often where you least expect them. We all know about the obvious culprits like sodas and candies, but added sugars also lurk in savory items. Things like pasta sauces, salad dressings, bread, ketchup, and even processed meats. And get this, even seemingly healthy options like flavored yogurts, breakfast cereals, and fruit juices can be laden with these hidden sweeteners, making it incredibly easy to consume excessive amounts without even knowing it. Now, a consistent intake of these added sugars places a significant strain on your blood glucose levels and dramatically increases the demand for insulin. Every time you consume sugary foods or drinks, your blood sugar spikes. This signals your pancreas to release insulin. Over time, frequent and large spikes can actually overwhelm this system, causing your cells to become less responsive to insulin signals. And that's a direct pathway to developing insulin resistance. Think about the cumulative impact of those seemingly small sugar additions throughout the day. It can be substantial. A little sugar in your coffee here, a sweetened yogurt for breakfast there, a sauce with your lunch, and a processed snack in the afternoon. All of these can collectively contribute to a really significant daily sugar load. This constant barrage keeps your insulin levels persistently elevated, which promotes fat storage and makes your cells progressively more resistant to insulin's effects. So what can you do? Well, learning to read food labels effectively is a critical skill in identifying and avoiding these hidden sugars. You'll want to look for terms like sucrose, glucose, fructose, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, maltose, dextrose, and concentrated fruit juice in the ingredients list, and pay close attention to the added sugars line under total carbohydrates on the nutrition facts panel. This will help you understand how much sugar has been added beyond what's naturally occurring in the food. But there's good news. Fortunately, there are numerous healthier alternatives to satisfy your sweet cravings without derailing your insulin sensitivity. For example, opt for whole fruits instead of fruit juices. Choose plain yogurt and add your own berries. Use spices like cinnamon or vanilla to add flavor instead of sugar. And try drinking water or unsweetened tea instead of those sugary beverages. These simple swaps can dramatically reduce your hidden sugar intake. Number 5, irregular eating patterns. And finally, at number 5, let's discuss irregular eating patterns. Believe it or not, the timing of your meals can have a surprisingly significant impact on your body's insulin sensitivity. When you eat at inconsistent times, or maybe go for long periods without food, and then follow that up with large meals, you can really disrupt your body's natural circadian rhythms and hormonal balance. This irregularity can make it harder for your body to predict and manage glucose loads, potentially leading to less efficient insulin action and an increased risk of resistance. Skipping meals, and this is a big one, particularly breakfast, can throw your glucose regulation significantly off balance. When you miss a meal, your blood sugar levels might drop, leading to intense hunger and then potential overeating at your next meal. This kind of feast or famine cycle can cause larger blood sugar spikes and place a greater demand on your insulin-producing cells. Over time, this can contribute to the development of insulin resistance as your cells become less responsive. Another area of concern is the relationship between frequent, unscheduled snacking, especially on processed foods, and insulin production. If you're constantly grazing throughout the day, it means your pancreas is repeatedly being called upon to release insulin. This sustained insulin output can lead to chronically elevated insulin levels, a condition known as hyperinsulinemia, which is a key driver of insulin resistance as your body's cells become desensitized to the constant presence of the hormone. On the flip side, establishing consistent eating schedules offers numerous benefits for your metabolic health. Regular meal times help stabilize blood sugar levels, improve your body's response to insulin, and can also aid in better appetite control. This reduces the likelihood of overeating or making unhealthy food choices. This kind of predictability allows your digestive system and hormonal responses, including insulin secretion, to function much more optimally and efficiently. So what can you do? Well, some simple strategies can help you establish more regular meal patterns. Try to aim to eat your meals at roughly the same time each day. Yes, even on weekends. Planning your meals in advance can also help you avoid those last-minute unhealthy choices. And if you do need snacks, opt for whole foods like nuts, seeds, or fruit, and try to incorporate them as part of a structured eating plan rather than just random grazing. Warning signs you shouldn't ignore. Now, it's also really important to be alert to certain warning signs that you shouldn't ignore. For example, be on the lookout for unexpected skin changes, such as the appearance of skin tags or dark velvety patches called acanthosis nigricans. These are often found in body folds like the neck or armpits. Also, unexplained weight gain, especially if it's concentrated around your abdomen, can be a significant indicator that your body is struggling with insulin. If you experience noticeable vision changes or other eye problems that seem to arise without a clear cause, this should prompt a discussion with your healthcare provider, as they can sometimes be linked to insulin issues. And finally, other subtle symptoms like persistent fatigue, increased thirst, or frequent urination might also signal underlying insulin resistance. These definitely warrant medical attention for a proper diagnosis. Lifestyle changes that can help reverse insulin resistance. So, what can you do about it? Well, there are lifestyle changes that can actually help reverse insulin resistance. Embracing diet modifications that focus on whole, unprocessed foods and reducing your sugar intake is absolutely key. Regular physical activity, making sure to incorporate both aerobic exercise and strength training, can significantly improve your insulin sensitivity. And crucially, consistent health screenings allow for early detection and management, which really empowers you to take control of your metabolic health. So, to wrap things up, avoiding a sedentary lifestyle, poor sleep, mismanaged stress, hidden sugars, and irregular eating is truly vital. While insulin resistance is common, it can often be managed or even reversed. Early intervention through conscious lifestyle modifications is paramount. Recognizing these sneaky habits is really the first powerful step you can take towards better health. Did you find this information useful? If so, please feel free to share this article. We really encourage you to take a moment to evaluate your own habits. Which of these sneaky habits surprised you the most? And more importantly, what change will you consider making starting today? We'd love to hear from you, so please ask questions or leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe for more health-focused content to support you on your journey.